you don't want to have to go through this extra exercise with your children of like, well, let's go through why I believe what I believe or why we believe what we believe. And parents might feel a pressure to be God, small g figures to their kids. Like, I
Right.
know everything. Mom and dad know when really it's like, dad's still trying to figure it out, you know? It's like, and even this podcast, I feel like I'm fumbling around a little bit because I don't have a great grasp of these topics and I'm still continually trying to learn.
Right. I mean, I have older kids now. God, that feels so weird to say, but my son's 13, and super, super bright. And so he asks a lot of, I mean, we were in the car driving to a bar mitzvah, and he was like, "Let me tell you a little something about experimental physics."
Whoa.
Yeah, and then was like, "So, I can't even describe it now." We were going by the Stanford Linear Accelerator, and he was like, "Have you ever thought about, like, the space-time continuum, and if you drop a marble," and my husband was like, "Oh, look up this." But I was like, "No, I hadn't thought." But he has a lot of good questions and a lot of complicated questions now, which I really enjoy. That's part of parenting I'm good at. And I just want my kids to think critically, and so even if I agree with something, I want them to not take it as absolute fact because I think it, right? I mean, obviously, we feel very strongly about Israel in this family. My husband and I were in Israel last summer. They go to summer camp that's essentially Zionist. Um, but I want them to come to I don't want to feel like I brainwashed my kids about anything. I actually took my son to see Omar Shem Tov, who was a hostage in Gaza for 400 days and is now on a speaking tour. Amazing. If you get a chance, like such a inspirational, like, I mean, my son had to leave early. He was crying, but he was like, I don't understand how he can have gone through what he went through and like be so
Wow.
full of light. And like, so, like, he was like, I don't want you to take darkness away from this. I want you to take hope. But his feelings about being a Jew and Israel and whatever really, I think, changed and like solidified and whatever during that talk. But at the same time, I want to present him true, not propaganda, but true like counter arguments and counterfactuals. Um, because I mean, one, if you're going to ever be able to like defend a position, you need to be able to know what the counter arguments are. But also, I want him to ask me hard questions. And I mean, yeah, sure. In this case, I know what I would like him to feel, but he really needs to come to that on his own. And he needs to come to that on his own with like a broad understanding of the facts. So, and that means that's like barking your children safe from joining a cult, right? Like if your kids know how to question absolutist statements, even ones you believe in, they're much less likely to get sucked into a cult, whether that's like, they go to college and they end up in some like, doing protests in right without really thinking through what they're protesting or like a
Yeah.
genuine cult. So yeah, critical thinking. It's underrated.
It You said two things there that I want to highlight. One, critical thinking, making space for it, making room for it, and encouraging it. Information is becoming so cheap. School used to be all about knowing information. Now information is everywhere, even more so with AI. So the critical thinking component is going to be, I think, a big value maker in the future of society. How do we assimilate information? How do we critically think about it? And what outputs do we deliver based on the information at the tips of our fingertips?